Hey, I'm Eli Santana from Ignite, and you are listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
But yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was not any help. I'm not a very good cook.
We had a good time though, right? And it was something different that you didn't normally do on tour.
Oh, absolutely. I had a blast.
Oh. Well, cool. Well, we're not here to talk about that. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. What's up, Brett? Can you hear us?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just
No. We're just
getting my setup going.
Are you out in LA? Is it really 7:00 in the morning?
3 hours difference.
Wow.
That's why I was like, I texted you on, I didn't know if you got my Instagram message, but I hit you up on Instagram and I was like, is this thing really at
Oh, I didn't even see it yet. Sorry,
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I was like, is this really at 7?
Because it says just for the record, I didn't set it up. That was Claire.
Gotcha. Because
this is
It's early. Okay, Claire.
Oh, we're all good. And we love you, Claire.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's talk about Ignite. Self-titled album is due out here, I think, in what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks from today, probably, right?
Yeah, exactly. Couple Fridays from today. Yep, exactly.
Now that it's done and you've had a chance to sit on it, are you still satisfied with the outcome, or is there something you wish you could go back and go, damn, I wish I did this or I did this?
Eli, I'll let you jump into that one first.
Yeah, because I usually have that. Some stuff it never goes away, but it's awesome. I don't have that. I'm still pretty satisfied from when we finished, because we even had like almost a half a day to a full day of finishing and going like, okay, is there anything else we want to change or anything else we want to do other than just like making it by like, skin of your teeth, going like, well, I guess that's it, so I'm still pretty damn confident sitting on it right now.
How hard is it to let it go? Like, I mean, I imagine you keep wanting to go, maybe it needs this, maybe this. But I know besides a deadline, how hard is it to just say, or how do you come to the conclusion this is done and we can't do anymore?
Well, I think there's always doubt because at the end of the day, you're just putting these songs together that you worked on for a year or whatever, and you can only trust your instincts. I mean, you go, okay, does this move me? Am I excited about this? And that's always just been for me the bottom line is if I'm stoked on it, and not that I don't care what the fans think, because of course you care what the fans think, but if you're satisfied and you're happy with it, then for me it's a pretty good litmus test of like what if it's going to be, if people are going to dig it. So when we finished this record, for me, I was like, yeah, I think we're good here, and that's the only thing I've ever been able to like go off of and trust. So I just kind of rely on those instincts, and so far it served me good so far.
All right. So the river, is a pretty heavy subject and a pretty heavy topic matter. Is there something you want your fans to walk away from after listening to not only the record, but the single, The River?
I mean, Ignite's always been a band that has had a political, environmental, social message mixed in with like personal stories or personal messages. And I think you're going to get that no matter who's writing the songs for Ignite. And that's always going to be kind of how our messages work. Definitely The River's a pretty dark song musically. And then it got mashed with some pretty heavy lyrics. So, we're always wanting to shed light on issues that we think light needs to be shed on them. And this is definitely one that I know for everybody in the band that it's something that's very important, because we see some stuff that's going on that's wrong.
Sorry.
Wrong. That's all right. Wrong in the world. So and that's always been kind of the MO for Ignite, is to write stuff that we feel is going to move people and maybe make them open their eyes and see some things that are going on. I mean, we're not always going to have the solution in the song, but like, let's shed some light on some stuff in the world that's going wrong. And maybe we could get some people to help us make a change.
And to get people thinking and doing whatever. I imagine you had with all the downtime, you had quite a bit of stuff to write about. So this album is probably super inspired, right?
Yeah, we had a lot of time. We almost tracked up between 30 and 40 songs. And
really?
when I mean, and we don't just like, oh yeah, we had 2 riffs that we didn't use. It's like full songs with lyrics, vocals, backups, harmonies. I mean, we do the whole full demoing of songs. And we had a lot of time to work on music.
And a lot of subject matter. I mean, the last 2 years were hard on everybody, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys write in the traditional sense? Like, are you all in the same room banging things off each other, or is more of a setting a riff or sending an idea back and forth?
Eli, you want to jump in on that one?
It's well, from what I've noticed, and it's kind of how I work and kind of how I like to work. Usually one of the guys will kind of have a pretty fleshed out song map. Like Brett said, it's not just hey, I got this half a riff. Right. Does this count as a song kind of thing? So someone would come in with pretty much like a whole song arrangement figured out, and then pretty quickly turn around and have vocals or melodies. And if even if we're just stuck on an arrangement, like it's cool that at least a couple of us can like throw down like vocal ideas, so it still feels like a song, so you know where it's at. So, and I think from there, if one of the guys is just like, oh, this kind of isn't feeling like it's working, then it will kind of be like file sharing back and forth. And then what was really cool before this is the songs we really liked, we actually were able to go in and get in a room and be like, okay, this doesn't work in the room, or we need to move this. And what's also really cool is that Craig, sometimes before I'd even hear it, was like, oh yeah, here's the drums for this idea. Wow. So you'd actually have real drums, which is, I'm sure you've talked to plenty of bands that it's just like, sloppy drum machine or whatever. And it's never really like the full essence of a song. So we really lucked out just with having Craig being like already having his fills kind of worked out. So it's cool.
Yeah. I think Craig kind of got jealous because we're all on GarageBand or Logic or Pro Tools working on all this stuff. And, it's kind of easy to just plug in your bass or your guitar and start riffing and recording. And then he did a whole drum setup at home. So he would ask for what's the BPM, and he would like send back. He had a whole microphone set up and send back. So we were working with live real drums on all these demos, which that made it, I think, easier to hear the song rather than like, okay, with real drums, it's going to have a different feel. But it's like, we were working with demos with real drums right from the get go. So, and with all it's pretty cool. Cause if it's midnight and I have an idea, I can go in my room, my office up here, and I can start riffing and send somebody something the next day. And we don't have to wait to get in that room with everybody. We don't have to like, okay, on Tuesday, bring you all your ideas. It's like just the way technology is now with songwriting. You can get so much more done because you can work on stuff by yourself rather than waiting to get it. Like when we started the band, and there was some magic in that for sure. You'd get together and you'd all work on it, and maybe you'd have a tape recorder and you'd record some ideas, but it's just different now. And I think with the technology now, it's just, there's a lot more opportunity for songwriting.
I think like Eli said, though, you guys are getting in at the end or somewhere near the end and kind of fleshing it out and making it not just electronic. And there's something I think to be said about that, because in the end, I think it makes it more organic, right? Or more real and in your face, as opposed to, I think you can tell.
Yeah. No, I mean, you definitely have to get in the room and flesh it out for sure. Like Eli said, and that's a big part of it, because stuff that works, just recording it sometimes doesn't translate to the room.
Do you think about how it's going to translate to the live setting then as well when you're writing? Or is that just like, we'll deal with it later?
You try and imagine that and think that, but I think sometimes that doesn't necessarily dictate how you're going to write the song. and for me, a lot of times that comes in vocally. Like when I start hearing the vocals on the song, then you can really start, oh man, that's a cool melody. People are going to sing that back and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I guess it all ties in together, but I don't necessarily think immediately like, okay, how's this going to come across live? Because I'm just so much wrapped up in like finishing a song.
Right. Makes sense. Did you have something, Eli? I'm sorry, I think I cut you off.
Oh no, I was just chuckling at just the kind of what Brett was saying, where it's just usually the goal is like you want to get an idea down, and then it kind of like, wait, I could finish this tonight, and then you go to sleep like super super late, but you're like, yeah, but when the fellas wake up, they're gonna have this,
right,
sent over. So and just coming from the metal world, where it's just a lot of it is just like random riffs, and you play with certain guys like you were saying earlier, like I got this song, like that's a riff.
Right.
We have so much more to do.
I know. So. Yeah. And a lot of times when I wake up that next morning, sometimes I don't send the songs the night. I wake up in that song I was all pumped on at 2 a.m. I was like, oh, okay, that's not as good as I thought it was. This thing needs some more work before I send
the drawing board.
Yeah, I send this thing off to everybody.
What do you guys have planned? I know you're doing some shows, but what do you have planned for the going forward? Are we getting back on the road full bore with this, or what's it look like?
If we can, that's our vehicle of connecting with our fans. Like that's so. I mean, it is going on or some new variant of this pandemic to get out and do as many shows as we can. Europe has been the bread and butter for Ignite for a long time, so we focus a lot on that. Like a lot of our year gets anchored around European festivals and whatnot. But I mean, we go everywhere: South America, Asia, Latin America. I mean, as many places as we can. So that's the goal, is to continue that trend.
All right. So I've got a quick question for you. Bouncing off what you just said, did you ever imagine, I mean, you started this in like 93 or 94, I think. You ever imagine you'd be on all these continents and touching all these people with this music 30 years later?
No, because it didn't start as an idea to do anything beyond just write some songs and do a demo, and then it evolved into a 7-inch, and it just kept evolving because the opportunities kept presenting themselves. But no, the idea for Ignite was never to be like a full-time band or never to be a career in music. It just and I don't want to say it was a happy accident, because it was a bunch of just hard work and opportunities presented themselves. But and I think that's what kind of naturally allowed it to happen rather than having it be forced.
I said, you guys, I don't know if you've played any live shows. I hadn't seen that anywhere yet since this nonsense that we've come through. What's it going to feel like to finally get out there and, really do this on a regular basis and back to normal?
Oh man, that it's going to be, I hate echoing the whole new normal thing, but I'm excited, and I'm hoping that, like, Brett was saying, there's no new variant or something, and it's just the normal things that's contagious that we can catch on the road that we're used to, and not anything new. But I can't wait to get back on the road. It's just like, even thinking of going to like Flying J's or truck stops is like like that's exciting. So like, even just getting in front of people, it just we're gonna go ape shit. So
I imagine the energy is gonna be insane, not just from you guys, and the crowd's gonna be incredibly insane because they haven't been out and about for a while either, right? So it's gonna be crazy.
And it kind of seems like that from the shows we've played.
It's pretty crazy, right? I mean, the energy's got to be nuts.
Definitely.
Yeah. Sorry, Brett. I
hoping that. No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, and I think a big thing for us is that we're used to touring. We're used to being on the road, and when we're not, it's interesting because life.
You still there, Eli?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we lost him again.
The last 2 years are a blur. They went by really fast because Dang. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure what's going on here. Can you hear me?
I got you.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I was just, you were saying the last 2 years.
Yeah, it seemed like it's been a blur because it seems like it's a lot of every day's the same over and over. So all of a sudden a week turns into a month. And when you're on the road and you're experiencing different stuff every day, it really, for me, slows life down because it's like, oh, you're in Munich one day and then you're in Vienna and then you're in Milan. And it's like all these, different things happening every day. And it slows life down when these last two years have kind of been a blur.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. What's it like at an Ignite show now? Because I imagine this many years in, you've got like multi-generations showing up too, right? People like my age and then bringing my kids and even grandkids at some point.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting when people come to the show that the younger generation, because when we start playing some of the older songs, they're asking if those are new songs because they haven't heard those. And it's, we're very fortunate that we've been one of the bands where people have continually liked our newer records. A lot of punk bands, I think, fall into that issue where they just want to hear either first one or two records or even demos. And,
Right.
We've been lucky that we've actually gotten more popular as the years have gone on and our records have sold more. And yeah, it's we're blessed to be able to have the younger kids come and know a lot of our new material.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know you guys are releasing the full record, which I think is something almost lacking these days because everybody's just releasing like one single on a download and then another. It's this new record model. So I applaud you first, and maybe it's the punk roots. I don't know what it is, but I applaud you for actually doing a full length or an EP, actual project.
Yeah, and I think the way that this record was rolled out and the new kind of dynamic with digital releases and stuff, it's so cool for a band we put out like 5 songs in 5 months and we got all this exposure and so much more legs out of this than the old school way of, okay, your record's coming out in March. We're going to throw some ads in a magazine and then we'll push that one single and then you guys are on your own. Right. This way, it was so cool because it was the first time we've ever been able to get a proper rollout. And I watched our buddies in the Bronx do it right before us. And I was excited because I was like, I lived through that whole first half of the album coming out. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be so fun rolling all these songs out. And, we just released a skate deck with the last song and just tied in all these different things and tried to make each single and video release exciting in itself. And this is the first time for Ignite that we've ever got to do that on this scale. So I like how if all records are going to be rolled out like this from now on, I'm stoked because I think a band, all the hard work that they do, they get rewarded a lot more doing it this way and a lot more opportunity for people to hear their stuff.
Yeah. And I think it makes sense in the long run because you keep the band on the forefront. You've got something new, legitimate and new, not just, re-releases of covers or something, but legitimate stuff to release every, whatever the model is, 4 to 6 weeks.
Totally. Yeah. It was awesome. And it kept us engaged and kept us excited and actually kept us working really hard because all of a sudden we'd record a video and then it'd get edited and then it'd come out and then it'd be like, oh man, we got to go do a new video in like a week, 2 weeks. So it was like, it's been a lot of work, but it's been cool. It's been cool.
Plus old school fans like me, and I think a lot of probably the roots of the scene there, your genre is, the actual vinyl or physical copy of some sort.
Yeah, to have something in your hands is like, I think, huge, that vinyl, that big piece of vinyl rather than just a couple songs digitally released. It's cool. And vinyl's so popular now, people collecting it. It all kind of ties in, man.
It does. And I think there's something missing that kids don't get from, going to that record store on a Tuesday, saving all your money and walking to the record store and getting that new vinyl and then listening to it start to finish and looking at the artwork and stuff. That's kind of missing in our generation or a digital, let's get it in 3 minutes vibe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And because back in the day, you didn't have anything but that layout, that artwork. You couldn't go look at YouTube and see videos and see all this stuff about each band. It was, that's all you had,
I mean, even the sequencing was an art form, right? Putting those songs in the right order.
Yeah, our drummer always talks about the importance of the first song on side 2 when you flip that vinyl over. Yeah, Craig always like, well, okay, well, it's really important what's going to be the lead off track on the second side. And I think that goes back to when he joined the band in 97. He learned the album, the songs from vinyl, and he was like, I thought side 1 was side 2. He said, so the first song I learned was Call on My Brothers on the Call My Brothers album. And he's like, and then I later found out that was the first song on side 2. And then he's like, I was even more stoked because I don't know. So yeah, all that stuff's special.
What do you guys have planned going forward from here? I know the record's out, and then what are we looking like?
Eli, tell them about what we got coming up, man.
I don't know if we can, talk about, like, I do want to, I know we all do want to have a couple more videos, because it's just been like Brett was saying, it's just been really exciting, like having that part of it. Cause it's like, I usually get like one video, one single, and then it's just like, good luck. So it's been really cool to have this other element for so much of the record. Cause if it were up to me, we'd have videos for every song on the record. It's going to be a lot of touring, and we kind of are already excited to start writing even new songs and seeing how things go over live with the old songs. But it's actually been a lot of fun relearning the songs for live, doing the video, because it's like, complete safety net. You go through the song, right, for like hours and hours. And I mean, for me with like lyrics, it's just like, okay, like it has to match my mouth.
Right.
So I'm pretty much 100% focusing on the lyrics. So it's just like great way to learn these songs. So maybe that might be a new tip for people, like go pretend to play the song if you're going to learn the song.
Right.
So,
and I think, like kind of what Eli said, a big change, I think, for me with Ignite now, with this lineup that we have, is talking about working on new stuff. We want to be putting out music more often than Ignite's track record. Beginning of the band, we put out like EP, then the next year a full length, and then we'd follow that up and have a 7-inch. And then once it was a little bit more out of our hands and we were signing to labels, the duration between albums became longer. And then we just kind of fell into this thing where we were taking 6 to 10 years to put a record out, and life was getting in the way, and people were doing other projects. And we want to put songs out. We want to put albums out, like, I don't know, 24 months. We want to be releasing more new Ignite material, because it's so fun to write, and it's so fun to record, and it's so rewarding, and it's so awesome to connect with your fans. It's like, I don't want to have these 6-8 year gaps anymore. And it's totally doable to like work, like write new songs. So that's a big change for me. I think that's as far as goals go. We actually, of course, have to do it and accomplish it and put these new records out. But the idea is to start working on songs this year for the next record.
Awesome. So that's the end of my questions here. Did I miss something you guys want to cover?
No, I mean, we're just stoked to be out. We got a bunch of tour dates coming up. You can go to our Instagram page and connect to all of our tour dates there, and get back to Europe, like I said. And we got this big NoFX Pennywise tour coming up in May. We got festivals in the summer. We want to get out there and see our people and show them these new songs we're so excited about, and we're so proud of this record. And that's the biggest thing for me is getting out there and playing them.
Awesome. Thank you, my friends. Welcome back. Good luck with the tour.
Awesome. Sorry about the connectivity issues.
It is what it is. Eli, it was great seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you, Bruce. Hell
hopefully we'll see you somewhere on the road here in Richmond. I don't know.
Yeah, let's make some food.
Yeah. I haven't been able to do that for all this time because nobody's.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I'd love to start it all up again. That was fun.
Yeah, no, I think you should. I really enjoyed that a lot.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time, guys. I know it's early. Have a great day.
All good. Thanks, brother.
You too.
Bye.
Later.